Hello and welcome to another edition of the Digital Forge. Today we will be speaking to Kyle, the creative force behind the Flukes of Hazard. We are taking a look into his song Too Young and finding out the meaning behind the song and having a little dive into his creative process. But first, a snippet of the song.
Fading each time that I sleep. Too young to know love could just fade to gray. Now every tomorrow feels further away. I beg for a reason, but silence was all. The angels still weep and I still hear the call. If pain is a lesson, I've learned it too well. Each heartbeat reminds me of personal hell. Too young to know love could just fade to gray. I've lived in the shadow with lessons.
That's powerful stuff. So Kyle, welcome to the Digital Forge. Let's jump right in. How did your AI project come together, and what inspired you to start creating music with AI tools?
So a friend of mine had told me that I needed to learn how to use AI tools. So that's how I got my start in making music using Suno. As for the song Too Young, that came together by way of me kind of reminiscing about my early childhood and thinking about the death of my father when I was 8 years old. And I just kind of ran with the pain and came up with something that, surprising to me, has resonated with a lot of people.
How would you describe your sound or style to someone hearing you for the first time?
I wouldn't say that I really have a specific sound or style. Just about everything I make tends to be on the heavier side. I think like, Amon Amarth or Arch Enemy levels of heavy. But with Too Young, I kind of wanted more of a power ballad, something more reminiscent of Metallica's One. And I think I really kind of lucked out with the prompts to make that happen.
What artists, genres, or experiences have influenced your creative direction the most?
So I first got into metal in the early 2000s during the new metal wave that was really popular back then. And I would say my taste has only gotten heavier since, and all of it has influenced the creative directions that I bring to my music. Lately, a lot of it has been influenced by Arch Enemy, but I also think back to Linkin Park and the things that Chaz Bennington sung about. And for my two best songs, I would say that's been the biggest influence is the stuff that Linkin Park's early work established.
Which AI tools or platforms do you currently use, and what do you love or struggle with about them?
I currently use Suno. I love the way it can take my prompts and, through a few iterations, give me little snippets of brilliance here and there. What I struggle with it is actually getting it close to my intended vision for a song. I think we could use some more tools in that regard.
Are there any recurring themes, messages, or moods that define your music?
So with my two best songs, or at least my two favorite songs that I've made, Voices and Too Young, the theme there is drawing on my past. I did not have an easy childhood, and my life has been difficult, to say the least. That's just putting it mildly. And I found a certain catharsis with digging into that pain and telling the story. It's actually helped me process some of it in ways that I never did before. And I think the message that I want those songs to convey to people is that they're not alone and there is help. There's always a reason to not choose the permanent solution to a temporary problem.
You released the song Too Young. What kind of emotional experience do you hope your listeners walk away with after listening to it? And did your personal experiences shape the story that you told?
With Too Young, um, the emotional experience for me was really difficult writing that song. And what I hope that the listeners take away from it is that they can not only relate to it, but that if they haven't processed it through yet, um, that they can understand it's going to have a profound effect on their lives when they experience something like that. But it doesn't have to hold them back. They can learn to understand it and grow from it.
Have you faced any misconceptions or resistance from others about AI music? How do you respond?
Yeah, I've seen some misconceptions and resistance on social media to AI music. I usually respond by bringing my perspective of somebody who does not have a musical background. I don't play an instrument. That's not for lack of wanting, that's for lack of money to learn. And what I typically tell people is it's a tool for those with limited means to begin making music and learn the other skills that they will need later on in their musical careers. Um, and there's a definite place for it in the music industry. I don't think people should gatekeep music just because of the tools that they use.
What's next for your project? Any upcoming songs, visuals, or collaborations we should watch for?
So, for Voices and Too Young, I would like to do a project that I'm tentatively calling Memoirs, which would be an album detailing all the pain and struggles that I've had in my life. But what I would like for people to take away from that ultimately is a message of hope. And alongside that, I would like to give a shout out. I hope I'm saying his name correctly, to Mikhail Jorgenstam. When I released Too Young, he made a song called Far Too Soon, as a response song to my song. And after listening to it, I have come to the conclusion that those two songs belong together, and I would highly encourage anybody that listens to my song to turn around and go listen to his song to get the other half of the story that I never even considered to write.
What advice would you give someone who's curious about making music with AI, but doesn't know where to start?
The advice I'd give to someone who's curious about making music with AI is just dive in. The very first song that I made, that I did not release, was a song about the absolute torture of having dry skin on your nipples. And if that made you chuckle, then that's exactly why you should just jump in. Your first few songs are going to not be something that you're necessarily proud of, but it will motivate you to improve, and it will motivate you to keep going and improve your knowledge and improve your skills. So, it's all about that first step. Take it, try it, and before you know it, you'll be producing music that blows your mind that you didn't even think you were capable of making.
What do you want the Digital Forge audience to take away from your story?
I would like the audience to take away inspiration from my story. A lot of my music is kind of generic right now, but I do plan on expanding upon that. And eventually, I want a story of hope when people listen to my music and when they hear my story. I want them to see that there is a future. I want them to pursue their dreams. I want them to not give up. I want them to fight through the struggles and come out the other side a better person for it, while also injecting positivity into the world.
Thank you so much, Kyle, for giving us a glimpse into your creative process. If you want to know more about what Kyle is doing, then check out the links below. I just want to thank the Metalheads AI Facebook group for their support in launching the Digital Forge. Go check them out. They are also linked below. I am Freya, the host of the Digital Forge. Hit like and subscribe to stay up to date with what's happening in the AI metal scene. Keep creating, be safe, and most importantly, stay metal. Until next time.